Hey, Robert back here, part 2 of the 228B. And last video we left off with removing the old seal from the filler fuel cap. So we'll start by putting the new seal in. You'll have to forgive all the noise in the background, the construction going on back here at the school. It's just always something. I mean, can't get away from it. I ordered these online, these bass neck gaskets. They are more rubbery than the ones I usually use. I ordered from a guy up in Canada. I think his name's Antonio. These are thicker and more rubberized, and which in turn makes them a lot harder to put in. But they probably give a little better seal. But so when I'm out of these, I got 2 more. When I'm out of these, I think I'll reorder from the guy in Canada the next time. I mean, they're just so much easier to put in. Start by add a little bit of oil in here. That just helps the process, makes it go in there a little easier. Start by smashing it all the way around on the inside. But they're so thick they don't want to go down very well. Down about halfway. Now I'm going to go to the outside. Just gently mash in and push down at the same time and try to get it under there. This is a tapered cap, so it's a little harder to get in there. Having much luck. Get it in, but it pops right back out before I can get it all the way down. Not having a whole lot of luck getting it in there. Like I said, it's a pain in the hind end. They're so thick and spongy. The only reason I ordered these bass neck gaskets is because they make it for the one piece and some other brand lanterns that I needed gaskets for. So I went ahead and ordered some of these while I was at it to go in with the shipping. Next time I'm getting ready to make another order shortly, and definitely going to go with Antonio, I think is his name. Don't ask me to pronounce his last name. I get a good deal on those out of Canada. There we go. I think we got it. Put that back in and thread it back in there, the screw. Just temporarily thread that on there so we can tighten it down. That'll do it. Okay, I've had these parts soaking in vinegar all night. Use this carb cleaner and spray them down good. Wipe them off. Had to give me some fresh steel wool. Rinse that really well. Get all that vinegar out of the inside, off the outside. Shoot that down in the threads. The screw. Put the screw back in there so we don't lose it. So y'all get the idea of what I'm doing here. I'm going to fast forward through the rest of this. Okay, well, it's fresh on my mind. I'm going to go ahead and reassemble this fuel pickup tube onto the bottom of the valve, because in the past I may or may not have more than once forgot to put that on. I had to go back, and if a man did forget that, he would have to go back and take the valve back out after he's already put his thread sealer on it. That would be a bummer if that happened to someone. Still haven't figured out what that little valve there is for. Tell you what. Let's go ahead and see if that looks like it's threaded, but I don't want to break nothing. It doesn't seem to want to be turning. I was going to pull that out and flush it out. Nope, I'm not going to force it. Okay, this old frame sure is plenty rusty. Clean the rust off easy enough. That's going to leave a real dark finish. A lot of these guys will paint these frames when they get like that. That high heat paint. But I'd rather have the dark finish than I would the high heat paint. I'm just not a big fan of the paint. If you look at that paint, you can say, oh, somebody's repainted that. Once got the dark metal, it looks more original. Rinse that out real quick. All right, as you see, that's looking a lot better. I'm gonna continue this and fast forward. Okay, that's cleaning up really well. A lot better than I thought it was going to. So tell you what, I'm going to take this in the house and I'm going to give it a thorough rinsing. And we'll come back out and we'll heat it and oil it and try to season it a little bit. This is how I treat it. I'm going to heat this with a torch. We get it pretty warm. I want to get it red. I don't want it to change colors. I don't want it to blue. Just want to get it hot enough where the oil will soak into it as it dries, it cools. See, I got a little bit too hot right there. Got a real dark spot. But that'd be under the vent. It'd never be seen. But it cleaned up a lot better than what I thought it was going to. Okay, while it's still hot, be careful and don't burn yourself. But if you have any excess oil in there that's puddling, just get your paper towel and just sob it up. And go ahead and let that cool down with the oil on it. And it's kind of like seasoning that cast iron skillet. As it cools down, that oil, when it's hot, the pores in that metal will open up and you get that oil on there, and as it cools, the pores will close back up with that oil in it. That will slow your rusting process down. And eventually it's going to get hot and open back up and the oil will leach back out over time. But I mean, it really slows down the rusting. Okay, I went to cleaning on this, and that handle was so rusty. The bill right through here, you still see it's in rough shape, but it had severe cancer eat in there. I mean, it had big scabs all over it. I couldn't bring off with the wire brush, so I had to take it and put it out on my belt sander. As a matter of fact, it was so rough that it grabbed my belt and ripped my belt. But I've got it looking a lot better. Still got some dark spots in it there. But I don't want to sand down no more. I don't want to weaken it. So that's about as far as we're going to take it. Man, these little cotter pins are so small. I think it's the smallest cotter pins I've ever seen. And I'm not going to try to sand them or buff them. What I'm going to do, my buddy Steve made me this small parts forget what he called it, but you can heat up your small parts in it and oil them. I mean, it works wonders. So I'm just going to stick this in here. rust just turned black. Man, that's the handiest little thing. I'm going to fool around till I lose these. But, I mean, they just heated it up red hot and sprayed it with oil, turned it black. Alright, now let's see if I can get them back in there without breaking them. Alright, there's one. It's hard to do, trying to get that on camera. Alright, there's the second one. Cleaned up pretty good. Like I said, I knew it'd be a little dark, but cleaned up better than I thought it was going to. But I like it dark any day over the spray paint. Spray paint just looks rebuilt, repainted. The dark looks more natural. Okay, this collar is in really rough shape. I mean, really rough. I hit that right there with a wire brush, but I mean it's got some cancer in it. So got this wire wheel. I'm going to mount this in my drill press, and I'm going to take it over there and try to clean it up with that wire brush the best I can. And I'm not going to take the camera over there because I've got my camera mounted over here, and it's a really big hassle to switch that over. So I'll get back with you and show you the results. Okay, it's rough, but I got all the rust off of it. Looks a lot better. Okay, I'm out of time. It's my bedtime, so I gotta call it quits for the day. Gotta work tonight, so we'll pick up on the fount when I come back, I guess.